Alex here with another review. This time we're taking a look at the Pormido PRD81T mirror dash cam. And you'll notice that there are no mounting straps on the back of this like in a traditional mirror dash cam, and that is because this replaces the original mirror on your car with an LCD mirror, giving you that nice clean OEM look. It also features super high brightness for the display and automatic brightness adjustment. And the front camera is completely detached from the mirror, which allows for more control over placement of it. And this also features a very rare feature, which is the zoom capability for the rear camera, which I'll show you on this video. So first I'll show you the contents of the kit, then I'll walk you through the features of the dashcam, and then finally we'll take a look at some driving video to see how well it actually performs. And I have placed a link in the description down below to this system if you'd like to get one for yourself. And this dashcam is of the 10-inch category, which is roughly the distance from this side to this side, and it has a square shape with some round nice corners. We also get 3 physical buttons right here in addition to the touchscreen, and we'll check those out during the demonstration portion of the review. On top of the dashcam, there is a concealed memory card cover, and I love when they do this when they try to hide that memory card. They already included a 64GB memory, but this could be upgraded with as much as 128GB of memory. And here's another interesting thing: the front camera is of the detached type, not a common feature. Most mirror dashcams have the camera built in right here, and if you have anything that's nearby it, now you could potentially end up with an obstruction. By having a detached front camera, now this can be placed further away from the mirror dashcam, giving you further control of the view angle. Also notice that the front camera view angle is adjustable. There is a little lever right here, and that allows you to adjust it in the up and down direction. And the rear camera features all metal construction, and it could be placed on the inside of the vehicle or the outside of the vehicle because it is waterproof. I can peel this back and then I can attach it to the car. Also included is this optional mounting bracket, which allows the rear camera to have tilt adjustment in the up or down direction. We also get a second mounting bracket, and what this does, it allows for mounting the rear camera against a vertical surface like the rear window on a pickup truck. And it also again allows for tilt adjustment of that rear camera. And the rear camera extension cable does feature this extra red wire, which can be used to enable the optional reverse guidelines, what most people know as park assist, which I'll show you in a little bit. And for power, we get a hardwire kit. Now the hardwire kit not only provides power, but it also allows that single cable that's coming from the dashcam to separate into 2 cables. One is the input for the rear camera and one is the input for the front camera. And this is the Pormido PRD81T mirror dashcam. And you notice that we are presented with the rear view of the vehicle, compass, speed indicator, and also a couple indicators letting us know what is going on, including this red blinking dot indicating that we are recording. Now the view is adjustable. If you tap on the screen, you can see that I'm able to swipe up and down on here, and that allows me to adjust the view. Additionally, doing a swipe in this direction is going to switch cameras. Now this is the front camera, and again, that view is also adjustable. Swiping one more time gives us a split view, front and rear, and swiping one more time returns us back to the rear. Also interesting is that if you tap and hold on the corner, it'll bring up the date and time information, and if you don't want to see that, you can tap and hold and it'll disappear. But also if you swipe on this corner, notice what happens. You are able to zoom in on the rear image. Now this is particularly helpful because mirror dashcams provide a wider view than a normal mirror, and if you are having trouble adjusting to that wider view, you can begin to reduce how wide that view is. That will help you adjust to a mirror dashcam. Now let's go over the 3 buttons on the bottom. The very first one is going to turn off the display, and the dashcam continues to record in the background in what I call stealth mode recording, and this now behaves similarly to a normal mirror in case you don't want to use it as a digital mirror. Now the second button allows you to switch views, which is convenient if your hands are greasy and you don't want to touch the screen. Having that physical button on there helps. And finally, the third button takes a picture. Moving over to parking assist, I'm going to put the vehicle on reverse. Notice that the view shifted down a few degrees and we get reverse guidelines. If I pull the vehicle out of reverse, the view returns back to the prior one. But let's go back to parking assist. The guidelines are partially adjustable. The very first way to adjust them is just to move this up and down, and the mirror is going to remember the position of those lines within this view. The second adjustment that's possible is by swiping on the screen that allows us to retract the guidelines or expand the guidelines. Now, unfortunately, there is no way to adjust the width of the guidelines. There is only this adjustment to go in the up and down direction, and then the position within the view. And if you don't care for reverse guidelines, but you still want to use parking assist, let me show you how that looks. Notice that the view shifted down lower to help us with parking without reverse guidelines. And I'll show you how to turn off those guidelines in the settings menu later. And this mirror supports automatic brightness adjustment. However, you can always override it by tapping on this icon and then using the slider to adjust the brightness. Tapping this again re-enables auto brightness adjustment, which in my opinion works pretty good. Also notice that when I tap on the screen, you get these icons in the bottom that allows us to control the dash cam. Notice that you have that camera icon, which takes a picture, just like the button on the bottom right here. But more importantly, you got this icon right here that looks like a lock. That allows us to flag and protect the section of the video that is being recorded as important. We also have this icon right here that allows us to switch between the different views. And then we have this icon right here that allows us to stop the recording. Notice that there's no more red blinking dot, and also resume recording. Now, to play back the videos, that is gonna be done with the next icon, which is this guy right here. And this is gonna switch over to playback mode. There it is. Now the videos begin to play back automatically, and what you'll notice is that they've been sorted out into a couple different folders. You got normal video, then you got important video that has been flagged by you or by the dashcam as important, and then you have a third folder for pictures. And notice that this is the front camera files. If I want to see the rear camera files, I can tap on that icon, and that is going to switch me over to the rear camera files. We also can delete the files with this checkmark option. I can put the check marks on which files I don't want and delete it with the trash icon. And to access the dashcam settings, that is done with this icon. And let's go towards the top of the list. Starting off with resolution, we get two choices: running the front camera at 2K and the rear at full high definition, or decreasing the resolution of the front camera to 1080p. That way you have both full high definition for rear and also the front, in case you wanted to fit more on your memory card. You can also choose whether you want sound to be recorded or not recorded by default, and we also get a G sensor with 5 levels of adjustability. Now the G sensor is what can potentially allow the dashcam to detect when you get into a car crash. Moving over to parking mode, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, and we get two options for park monitoring. The very first one is gonna be impact detection, and we get 3 levels of sensitivity as far as the dashcam detecting when your vehicle gets impacted when it's in park mode. The second option is gonna be time-lapse recording, and it is customizable. You can have it take one picture every half a second, one picture every 1 second, or one picture every 5 seconds. Also notice that the time-lapse recording time is customizable, meaning you can limit how much time the dashcam is in time-lapse parking monitoring. Or if you want to have no limit, basically for the dashcam to attempt to stay on the longest during park monitoring for time-lapse, you can put not limited. The next option, low battery voltage protection, is associated with parking monitoring. And here you can see the current battery voltage, but also you can select when you want park mode to stop based on battery voltage. And here you have 3 options for 12-volt batteries and 3 options for 24-volt batteries. Let's also take a look at the languages that are included with this mirror dashcam in case you wanted to change it from the default one. Let's take a look at screen display mode. If you leave it on always on, the LCD panel is always going to stay on, so this works as a digital mirror. Or you can have it turn off after a period of time. The dashcam continues to record, and then you are able to use this similarly to a normal mirror. Or you can select Screensaver mode, where after a period of time, the dashcam is going to enter into this screensaver, and the dashcam is still recording in the background and while providing you minimal information. And the GPS display option can turn off the compass and also the speed indicator that's shown on here, and that can give you a very clean view of the rear of the vehicle. So let's go back over here and let's find that. Let's turn that off. And if I go back to the screen, notice that that information is gone. And if you turn off the display, the time and date information on this side, Notice that this is probably one of the cleanest screens in terms of not being cluttered with a lot of icons if you disable both of those informations from being shown on the screen. You can also set the default view that is shown when the dashcam turns on. You can have it show by default the front or the rear or a split screen. Rear camera can also be adjusted. You are able to mirror that view and you're also able to flip that view vertically. The front camera supports a similar type of adjustment. You can mirror that view or you can flip that view vertically. And here's where you can turn off the reverse guidelines if you only want to use parking assist, which is when the view shifts down a few degrees without reverse guidelines. But now that I've shown you the features of this dashcam, let's go ahead and take a look at some driving video, including the audio test, to see how well this thing actually performs. And this is an audio test of the Pormido PRD81T mirror dashcam, and I am sitting on the driver's side seat. And this is an audio test of the Pormido PRD81T mirror dashcam, and I'm standing outside the driver's side door. They also included this cover that attaches to the front windshield, and then the front camera can be attached to it in case you wanted to have more of an OEM look, further concealing the cable from that detached front camera. And they also included a cover for the cable on its way up towards the roof liner of your vehicle. Not all vehicles are gonna need that, but again, this helps to achieve that OEM look by concealing all cables. Now, one important thing to point out is as far as this mounting bracket on the back, this is gonna work with about 90% of the vehicles out there that use a standard mirror mounting tab, which allows me to remove the original mirror and then slide the new one into place. However, there are a few vehicles out there that do not use the standard mounting tab, and in that case you're gonna need a different bracket, and Pormido can confirm for you if you are gonna need a special bracket, and they can also provide that bracket for you if needed. But there is one more way of mounting this to the vehicle in case you don't have the standard mirror mounting tab, and that is with mounting mirror tab adapters. They slide into here and they change the shape of this into the shape of the bracket type that you may potentially have on your vehicle. I'll put a link to those adapters in the description down below. I'm also gonna put a link in the description down below to this mirror dashcam if you wanna get one for yourself, and I'll place links to my full mirror dashcam installation video and my hardwire video if you wanna see how that process looks. If you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more mirror dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.